from the first fruits of those who have died. We're going to be going on the mountain of the Beatitudes. Sermon on the Mount, the blessed bees. But first, I want to set up a context. Are there any curlers in here? Curlers? No curlers? Okay, I see 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, wow, 6. Wow, look at that. Now, I haven't done the Beatitudes in this reference before, but if anyone heard of the biblical story with Jesus at the Bonspiel? Yeah, it was one of my readings. I came across this, and since at the Olympics last night, curling was there, we have the Beatitudes. Today is obviously the perfect day to go Jesus at the Bonspiel. Last week in my message, I was talking about, and there's a lot of frustration, not just here in our community, throughout our society. Just look at all the trucker convoys, and this movement's going global. In France, Parisian police were setting up blockades because of trucker convoys. Kind of interesting, it started in Canada. Interesting, made in Canada phenomenon. Now, Jesus at the Bonspiel. We look at all the frustrations, whether it's teaching profession, nursing profession, how COVID has changed, things we didn't want, church life as well, any religious service. What do we grab onto? Something which reminds us, brings us back to the memories of the way church used to be. I can hear the frustration in the council meetings, visiting people. How long, Andrew, we're going to have to wear the masks? Good question by Mary. How do we show love? I mean, it's hard to speak with eyes. I mean, I guess I could put little hearts on my lens of my glasses. People who wear glasses have an advantage. So Joyce, you and I do, but if you don't wear glasses, I mean, how do you put love? You can put, I guess, red, red makeup. I'll need your help. How to do that? How do you do that? A lot of questions. This past week, I had excellent, wonderful pastoral visits. And this is where the idea of Jesus at the Bonspiel came. When we think about the resurrection, what Paul's writing in Corinthians. Jesus speaking, Sermon on the Mount. Blessed are those who are poor. Blessed are those who are hungry, for your tummy shall be full. They're opposites. If you're sad, your future's happy. If you're frustrated, your future's joy. Now that's interesting. This is coming right from the teachings of Jesus. Let's build upon where I was last week in Babylon. There's a lot of frustration. The Hebrews were in captivity. King Nebuchadnezzar, their sense of normal was turned upside down. Kind of like ours. Our sense of normal has been turned upside down. When will it end? I don't know. The words of the gift, growing in faith together. I came here, a lot of excitement. Oh, even did communion in a kayak. That was at Sue and Pat's house. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, there was change. But the church, it remained closed. We're doing online services new, more change. We had a little break from COVID, the Delta variant, and then Omicron showed up. There's fear. Is it safe to come back into church while wearing our masks? I mentioned earlier about resurrection a week ago. You can believe in the resurrection of the body. There's also the resurrection of the spirit. We need a reshuffling of the deck. For those who have curled, you know you need a skipper. The skipper I go with is right there in the middle. Skipper Jesus. Because one thing Skipper Jesus can do at the Bonspiel, he's a good takeout person. You know, when all those rocks come in together, they maybe say blue, red, what do you do with all this? You need someone to clear the deck. A new beginning. Think about what Paul's writing in Corinthians. The resurrection is real. Resurrection of the body, resurrection of the spirit. So let's go to Pigeon Lake. There we go. A clean sheet, the curling rink. And as you can see, I wasn't kidding, the red, blue, all different colors. Jesus is there in all of them. But it's clear sheet of ice. We need Jesus at the skip. Now, when I was talking about frustrations, imagine that, look at this. There it is. That could be frustration with, you can't see your grandchildren as much as you could. You can't travel maybe 2-3 years before you can see your children face to face. Maybe spending a lot of their time on a screen. You can't shop the way you normally can. There's social distancing. You're wearing masks. You're wearing masks right now. Church isn't the same. It's a lot of frustrations there. Want to clean that frustration. Call on Skipper Jesus. There it is. You see, people are clearing it out. Clearing it out. Now, the love of Jesus, whether it's red, whether it's blue, Jesus is there for all of you. And I wanted to bring out this because it was a lot of fun. We had an excellent time, the curling. And just look at different ways of generating spirit. Even if you have to wear masks, you have to socially distance, people are afraid to come in the church, resurrection is real. Different ways to believe it, whether the body or in spirit. But the pictures you just saw is a great example of resurrection of the spirit. People in our community of faith coming together, and I'll say it, having some fun. Oh, simple 3-letter word, having some fun, laughing, joy. And I also want to thank our photographer, Dave McKine, who took all these pictures, which I'm sharing with you right now. It was my first time. I have never done that. Gone curling with the gas canisters. That was very new for me. I really loved going back and letting the gas canisters and going boom and all these. I thought about that. Take out all that frustration. Take it all out. Folks, the main reason I wanted to show you that is because we can have fun. We can do this as a community of faith. We can laugh. We can sing. There's joy. There's new ways of doing it. It might not be the way we were used to, but we still can. I started the new year in Damascus. I was walking on Straight Street, where Paul was baptized. That's a new beginning. A question, and I'm going to share it with all of you. What are the ways we bring more people in our community of faith so these empty seats are filled? So the folks online, you feel comfortable coming here because you're safe. I must say, the folks who are here, there's actually a little surprise for all of you after the service. St. Cupid has arranged something. So, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but St. Cupid has a surprise for you. Another advantage to come here in person. There is a new way of doing things. It's taking shape, and it creates change, which creates frustration. Yeah, it does. But in the frustration, Jesus is still here. We can express our frustration. I've heard it in some of my visits. It's not just teachers who have had a difficult time in parent-teachers night. Or maybe with the principal or the superintendent. Oh my. Or the nurses God bless her. Wonderful nurse. I know she left the hospital to be a greeter at Walmart because of the stress. There's clearly there in our community of faith a listen to speaking directly at me. That's why I put those words by Rumi. I can't change the world. I can't get rid of COVID. Can't get rid of the masks. Not going to get rid of the social distancing, but I can change myself. That's something I can do. The transformation, the resurrection, it's real what Paul's talking about. You can embrace this reality and still have fun, like I did on Pigeon Lake with people right in our community of faith. Another pastoral visit I want to highlight, which was excellent, was with John Bick. By the way, he made some very good garlic chicken for me as well. I must have highlighted that. We went snowshoeing. He has a lovely property. And he was sharing something, I think it's significant, I want to share with all of you. Let's go back to the beginning of our community of faith. There were 35 families which came together to start Trinity United Church, and it's obviously expanded. This is not part of the original building. But look at the tools they had at their disposal. Certainly no clicker, no smartphones. But what did they have? They knew the secret. They had their faith in Jesus. I've mentioned it before, 1 Corinthians 27 and 28, that we're all members of the body of Christ. Okay? Whether we're wearing red, blue, green, brown, we're all members of the body of Christ. And I've mentioned this one, Paul's letter to the Ephesians, Ephesians 4:29, how it's important we uplift each other. Okay? We uplift each other, all members. All the words that we say to each other, the actions that we take with respect to each other, wherever we may be sitting, we uplift each other. These 35 families knew that. And over 160 years later, their legacy exists. I look at that, the story John was sharing with me, and that's a testament to love. The testament to the healing hands of Jesus, that through some very difficult experiences, these 35 families built our community of faith. Certainly there was no internet access for them, didn't have cars, couldn't travel around, using different modes of transportation, but the love of Christ was in there, and they built. And that's what I'm going to be concluding with. Another question which was asked on the last council meeting, what's the solution? You know, let's come together. God will give that to us. How do we build? How do we deal with this frustration? Because there's a lot of change. A lot of people are fed up. They are. But Jesus is still here. It doesn't matter how fed up you may be. It doesn't matter how long the convoy of truckers will be protesting. Jesus is still here. And folks, we can still have fun. We can still laugh with each other. And that spirit regenerate. We can share each other in message, in reading, conversations. Cupid's got a goodie bag for all of you before you leave. In music, we got great music, awesome duet. There's a lot of exciting things for our community of faith in the future. I believe in this because I uphold Jesus. And if I'm at the Bonspiel, folks, I'm going with Jesus as my skipper. That's where I plant my faith, and that's why I have a positive outlook. I share that with you. I invite you in conversation. I've been doing that on all my visits. Let's continue that the days ahead. And the sun will come and shine longer. It's shining now. And there will be joyful days for us. Let us lift up Christ's love. Let us continue forth. May the peace of Christ be with all of you.
Go make a difference in the world. Go make a difference. We can make a difference.
Folks, don't Don't be scared to clap your hands.
We are the soul.